much. So I'm a full-time application engineer, specialized in CNN and FMM related software. Okay. So today I'll be conducting training about CNN and So before I start, I'd like to have a small IQ session to know you guys more, and then maybe you guys can share some knowledge of what we know about CNN and Micat Planner related knowledge. Okay, so we start first. Please.
I'm quite new to CNN, so I never really touched before. See before in my past companies, but that was really seen before. So I'm quite new to this kind of system.
Okay. What are you doing?
I'm Nicholas.
Nice to meet you.
So I'm Christina. So I know nothing about this gym.
No, nothing.
Know nothing.
No knowledge at all.
I just sent here to get to know find about.
Very good. So hopefully today's training will be beneficial for you. About CNN.
Yeah, I need. So for I don't any knowledge, the signal.
What about we heard before Micat Planner?
I read before. I don't know.
You don't know. So guys will be a lot of knowledge today hopefully. So today's training we are expecting to have some new learning outcomes. Right? So first of all, after this training, you guys are able to get the part program, CNN part program using. Okay. Other than that, you guys also learn how to edit some part program. If you want to do some small changes or modifications, right? If you see some maybe very minor problems, just edit it instead of create a new program. Okay? And then for some sales engineers, then you guys can demo this software on site because it's a offline software. You guys can demo it straight away. You guys have the knowledge. Yeah. So before I talk much about go more deeper into my technical, I'm going to introduce CNN, right? Because this software is used to control hardware, so we have to know something about our hardware as well. Right? Okay. So first of all, what is CNN? So here you can see it's a CNN machine, right? So it typically has three axes. It X, Y, and Z. Okay. So basically how it works is during this silent goes on the board, we will have contact with the workpiece. So during the contact, the machine still will record a coordinate system, coordinate data in X, Y, Z direction. Okay. So after it collects all the data and it will import to a software. And the software will collect all the data and then calculate, make the calculations and show us the results. Okay, so the results will be in numerical forms, in graphs, or sometimes modern ways, topographical kind of report. Okay, so this is a brief concept of how CNN works. Is first contact with the workpiece, record all the coordinates, send it to the software, and the software will do the calculations, and you can see the results. This is a very good concept of a CNN machine. Okay. So if you guys have any questions, you can just ask me. So yeah, here we have our CNN machine, and this is our model which is 573, and model size is 574. That means it goes up to 500 millimeters in X direction, 700 in Y direction, then up to 400 in Z direction. Okay. And then this specific model, it can go up to 518 millimeters per second of movement speed. And then with this setup, here we have a rotary probe head, which means you can turn the probes in different angles. And a scanning probe, which means you can perform complex scanning measurements. Okay. And then other than that, we also have a probe piece that allows us to change different sensors. Okay. So if you know our hardware enough, then we can use this information in our software. So you know what our software is capable to do. Okay. So after we have our hardware part, then we go more to the software part. Okay, so Micat Planner is a software that utilizes 3D data. It means and 3D and 3D information. In this case, you can input and can import 3D data on your own. Okay, and with embedded 3D and 3D information, Micat Planner allows us to generate a program for this data. So typically, machine software, it has two main roles, right? But you guys know what is the two main function of the software?
Of what?
I mean, what does the software do? What do you think? Do with the software? More than science?
No question again.
Okay, so our machine is like comes with a software. Okay, what? And then the software has two main purposes. Okay, or two main roles. What are the purposes? What you can do, the two main things that the software does.
Mean this Micat or the
A lot of Micat.
CMM software? Maybe like just now you said, after the touch probe collect all the point, the software actually like collecting all the point and configure inside the software system. And then from all these points inside the software, come out with the position.
Yeah, so what I mentioned is very good. So, okay. So another purpose is also let us to create the machine movement. Right? We have to let the software to create the movement, or we create the movements using the software. And then after that, the machine will collect the points and do all this identification. Right? So typically, if you use our personal software, this is the workflow, right? So we have to manually input or manually create the machine movement, right? And then we have to create the element measurement strategy. That means, like, for example, for the circle, how much in the detail you want to move, or how many points you want to use, how long is the measurement right, and so on. So, manual, okay, and then you get definition. So you collect the points, then you have to tell the machine how to use these points, what to use. Then this is what we get these. And then until this part, our part program is done. Then after that, you can run the part program and do our data manipulation. This is the typical workflow. So if we use Micat Planner, all these three parts, it can be generated by Micat Planner. Lastly, if we use payment data, we can automatically create or generate the machine part to generate the another measurement strategy and create the detailed integration. All by we will do it for you. Okay. And then after you use it, we still have to use Cosmos to run the program. So when people will ask like, why do I already have Micat Planner? Why do I still need Cosmos? That's the reason, because we get Cosmos to run the program. Micat Planner just allows us to do the movement tasks. It doesn't evaluate the data. Okay, that's the difference between Micat Planner. So, yeah, as you can see, the sound that Micat Planner can say something about workload. So, we also have more fast benefits of Micat Planner. Okay, so Micat Planner requires very minimal input. So, first, you just have to import the hand file, the data, and then you generate it. Okay, it saves a lot of time. So here we have a comparison. So if you use to type on and propose the manual way of creating a program, it takes, for example, 16 minutes. Okay. If you use Micat Planner, that means you can using 3D data, 3D CAD file. You can use maybe up to 12 minutes. Okay. If you go one step further, we have the TMI data embedded into your 3D CAD file. You can save even more time. So, up to 3 minutes for program creation. So if you compare that to normal, you can save up to 95% time. Okay. It increases the efficiency of productivity significantly. Okay. So besides that,
the PMI is come together with our Micat Planner.
PMI data it comes with the 3D file.
Or 3D file. So it's coming from user.
Yes, so that means that during the design phase, when you create the 3D model, we also include the PMI data,
Even display.
GDN information. So we already define the GDN information in the 3D CAD file instead of you define it afterwards. So the file comes with two sets of information. Okay. So since it utilizes the 3D CAD file, it can generate a collision-free measurement program. Because the machine will know where is the part, and then when it creates, we can just open the piece. Okay. This is very important as well because yes.
So you mentioned PMI inside, meaning they consist the GDN data. What about the normal distancing, the normal distance, normal distance, angle?
This one you also can include it.
Is it also considered as TMI?
Yes. This cannot only be anything other than distance and angles also.
Sorry, I have another question. Let's say if I were to get out, I don't have the TMI data. And let's say the user side, the designer, they will deliver insert TMI data. Can your software insert it? Have you inserted some Micat Planner?
Yes. So one of the very big benefits of Micat Planner is you can input your VBA data or your TMI data.
Using the Micat Planner.
Yes. So let's say you have a 3D file with TMI data, but you want to add on something. You can use Micat Planner to add on,
Okay.
or even editing. Okay. Yeah, so we collision. So yeah, every machine we want to avoid collision because collision damages the machines and it will cost a lot to repair sometimes. So yeah, it will greatly improve safety of machine operation. Okay, and yeah, it's quite easy to use the software, very user friendly. And then other than that, we also can customize the settings to our needs.
Personalization of setting, what kind of setting can be?
Okay, so we can customize the parameters we want. So for example, how fast you want the machine to go, or how many points we need for certain elements. For example, you can just input like maybe 4 points or 5 points, 7, 10, up to the preference of.
It's like actually using the phosphorus to do brand on the setting.
But you just have to set, and then it will automatically generate. Or even like, for example, the generated program is not your favorite, you want, you have your own mind, but if you want to change something, you can still change it. Now.
It seems very hard to do. Is it difficult to use the packet?
It's user friendly. Okay, the workflow is quite different than the typical Cosmos. First and Cosmos is that you can get to do it manually. Alright, for Micat Planner, you can generate it automatically for you. So the part is you just have to do more on the setting part instead of the program creation part.
Can I say that let's say if I have no knowledge whatsoever of system, I will still be able to use this software?
I would say it's easier to use than the normal and Cosmos.
Easier to use. So I mean it's quite beginner friendly. I cannot say that if I have no background knowledge of CMM, I will pick up the script quite fast.
So, for example, like if you want to create certain element, in Micat Cosmos, you have to first create the part that, let's say, ask the machine to move to certain position, and then you will do a measurement. But then Micat Planner, you don't have to do that. It will automatically set the movement to the element, and then you just have to tell them how many points, and that's all. They will do it and do it for you. So you don't have to tell them where should I next step, where should I go, how deep does it have to move, it will automatically generate it. Once you set everything, you can just what I have
Offline, right?
Yes.
Or online?
Offline.
No longer need the M Cosmos and still need M Cosmos to run the program, but
Not for the part program creation.
so never have to use M Cosmos for part program creation
Yes.
anymore.
Other than editing,
Editing still need to go.
or if you don't want, you can still use this and then generate new.
So there is I can generate
Yeah.
cost to add cost to do the setting and any changes or all the setting can do it in Mac.
Yes. Actually, if you want, you can also integrate both using Micat Planner and Cosmos. I would say it's easier to do all the editing or like modifications using Cosmos.
And you can add cost to run the
Yes. Like Cosmos to run and evaluate the.
Can I know roughly, since this is online software, right? So can I say, offline software. So meaning to say I can create a recipe on my laptop, so I will get a license for the laptop. Okay, I say that. So, so eventually, after I create the program, I still need to transfer to a machine with a fully prepared software. Is it only tied to internet or can I use the program to give to some other
Only
brands?
for
All the
Yes, because the program generated type is for Mac Cosmos. Only Cosmos can run it.
okay. More things. Is it expensive?
So you have to contact our resource engineer for more information about the price.
Approximate? Do you know what the approximation price for this one license?
I would say 5 figures, that's fine.
5 figures.
Or is the add-on contract?
Yes, it's a standalone software. But yeah, it's a standalone software, but you still need an Cosmos to run the machine. It only allows you to create.
The M Cosmos, Cosmos, the add-on one also, or can change the CNF directly again.
It's come together into the same machine. Not come together, you only get the machine, but you cannot control the machine. Right? So this is the brief workflow for my planner. So it's 5 simple steps to generate the program. First of all,
So, I mean, before you move to this, can I ask you one thing? Since this software, I mean, we need to purchase, right? Is there any like trial license that I mean, can show that customer will try first? Because sometimes I'm worried that what if my customers they don't like it? I mean, after I purchase, I cannot provide it.
oh yes, we can provide you trial license.
So there is trial license.
Yes.
How many days?
We go up to 6 months.
6 months trial license. Trainings will be provided to use the software.
Yes, we will bring provided.
Okay, so basically, any specification for PC specs, make our preferred laptop. Any
Ideally, it's a workstation spec.
workstation specs?
Yes. Because just what again, because you use a lot of 3D data, so the graphics, and quite heavy on the calculation side also.
Yeah, 3D CAD, right? What kind of 3D CAD file is required? Or you have
SolidWorks step file, we always come with step file as before. Yes, step file is before, so you don't have to pay extra for step file. Okay, if you need some special, like for example, SolidWorks or Katia, then you have to purchase the license for that.
Okay. I mean, we have the list of what kind of spec file for this order.
Okay, check this one and then I'll send it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, question, just to confirm. So the Micat Planner is applicable to your all CMM model, or only can attract got like restrict to only certain CMM model can use the Micat.
Okay.
Because I know not all crop can turn to like certain crop for 5 axis.
Oh yeah. Yes. There's also some hardware limitations sometimes. Not all books are supported by Micat.
So only certain basic configuration is supported.
And then for software side, you need to run at least Cosmos 4.2. So even you have 4.3 and below,
All versions don't support like
yes. And then it depends on your existing Cosmos version as then for network as well. If, for example, the Cosmos doesn't support profile surface or profile offline, so even though you can create the program for it, but at the end you also cannot run. You can create the program but you can't run.
So for outline certain
Yeah, we did Cosmos 3 for it.
three and above.
3 or 2. Which includes scan time.
The latest one, the latest and performance.
Cosmos 5.
Oh, now it's under 5.5.3.
Version 5.3.
5.3.
But Cosmos will say level, will say level. So we have more extensions. It's up to 3. So, yes.
Can we go back to the black and white,
Which one?
the CMM spec?
Okay.
This one currently, this size is not the smallest one, right?
Second one.
Also, all size, all CMM size listed here can support the Micat, or is there any restriction on the CMM size?
This one, okay. So they say all the size can support directly. Because the configuration is using Cosmos to do the configuration. You just import the data to Micat. So if your Micat Cosmos can run, you can create the configuration for the setup to Micat Planner.
I got a condition in like the customer center is like bigger than the size range of field.
Okay.
But I still manage to use the Micat to create program for that large size workpiece, but only cannot run with smaller size machine like.
Sorry.
My workpiece right now is actually larger than the scale of the machine.
Okay.
But I still manage to create program for my cat only cannot run because
In that case, you will face some difficulties creating the program.
program there already like stopped.
Yes, because in able to create the measurements, right, she have to contact points, right, segments, the type thing. So if it's bigger, too big, right, the machine, the Micat Planner can even simulate the
So
contact point.
Micat Planner actually also like got the information about the machine size.
Yes. So this one you know more in details about the workflow. So you will include it. So the first thing is to configure our machine. It's not only importing, but you have to know the machine data specifications as well. You have to include all of this.
One more thing. The scanning code also supported in Micat.
Yes.
Some people what about the video?
It also supported.
Creation
Communication
or level? Does it?
Sorry?
Yeah, so far.
Good. Okay. As Ms. Krishna mentioned just now about machine configurations, right? Okay, so in Micat Planner, the first step is to tell the machine what machine configurations you have. Right? So in this photo, right, you can see I have 4 different kinds of systems. So for example, in your factory, we have, let's say, multiple CMMs with different sizes and different probe systems, and so different standard setups. Right? You can create the configuration and then just pick one of them when you want to use. So for example, first CMM, you want to use for part A, you can just take this one and do the program for part A. And then for CMM number 2, you can just take CMM number 2 and then create the program for part B. CMM number 3 for part C or CMM 4 for part B, for example. So you only need one computer to create all the programs for multiple CMMs. Okay. I will get more like using my planner how to. So now I have my Micat Planner. This is the interface of Micat Planner. So you can see here also, there's not much for you to click on. Right?
Nó sống được cái cái nó được sự sao được
Okay. So, yeah. And then how to import the DNA or machine configuration is you click here. And then you can select which one. Or you can see, check how is it, what's the configuration using. Good. And you go to tools and select system manager. Here it's the same as the Micat Planner. Right. So by using this one, you can also modify your machine setup. Okay. So in this case, I will use this setup for today's training. Okay.
Cái xí một rác mà.
Sorry.
There's no rác. You only create that.
For today's training purpose, I'll just keep things simple. We only use one stylus to be down. Okay. So this is the first step of Micat Planner. The second step is to import the model. Right, so you can pick a model with the full piece, and then you import it in multiple formats, and you can also import multiple workpiece once as well. Do not particularly only one. You can do 2 or 3 workpieces.
In one time.
Yes, you can import multiple. Then you can also import your fixtures as well. So if you have jigs, you can also import the jig, the cat model of the jig,
Now what if I get a energy? I mean my part is really based on the
Oh, so okay, this one is the next step, which is about positioning of the workpiece. Okay, so we'll go through later. And then, in this case, you can see in the photos that all these blue lines are the KMI data. You can see here the concentricity of flat material. So this particular model is considered KMI data. If no, you won't see all these blue lines. So in my planner, how to do it. So you can see here this button is import. Okay, click import. You can pick our model. So for this one, I will use. Okay, now you can see our workpiece. So, it's This location will be using our training workpiece. Okay. So now the our machine, then our workpiece, and then the third step will be the positioning of workpiece. Right? Because now the machine doesn't know where is the workpiece. It just place it and then now the third step is they have to tell the machine where is the workpiece located and how is it oriented. Right? Any ideas how we can do it?
No one.
Actually, the best way is using manual alignment to tell the machine how is it, where's the location and how is it. So, okay. In that case, you have to create a manual alignment for this. Then I will demo for you how is it perform using an exposure source. So in here, now create a new program and we will enter the mode. This is the page that, of my probe data. So, manual alignment, so far is manual alignment. Okay, Mr. Lee,
Example is you
how
have
to
to
perform manual alignment.
design.
Christina, you have idea?
The question again,
How?
what is better, how to perform? How to perform? I'm not sure whether correct or not, so, since it's a touching top, it actually can like put a point at anywhere that we can decide. Maybe put at the side edge of the workpiece,
Okay.
one point, and then one point as like starting point,
Okay.
another point like take the workpiece, right? Like hit another point on another end.
Okay. So typically we will have 3 steps for creating a manual alignment. Okay. First of all, we will create a template list. Okay. What's the template necessity of that space?
So step one is plan.
Okay. Great. Okay. And here we press the plane. Getting plane 1 and then take 4 points.
Why have to put 4 point if I put 3?
Yeah, 3 points is the minimum for a grade. Yeah, 4 points is actually the more points the better. You get more accurate data. Right? So if the plane is very big, if you only take 3 points, it doesn't tells us too much about the plane. That's why you need maybe extra more.
So 4 is like standard. Less, 3 is minimum, 4 is standard.
You can do even 6, 7, but since it's manual, if it takes too much points, it consumes too much of time.
So for this case, manual type plan, 4 is a
I use 4 as a standard for my for this. Okay, so as you can see here, at the right hand side, sorry, we take 4 points, right? So, you place our controller, you take first point. Anyone come nearby?
Yeah.
So, this is the data and this is the
Okay.
So, let's say we take here, that's the one, right? Now, there is some space here. Okay, I will.
What is the function for to
Okay, this button is to say that I will take a point now. So if you press in this mode, any contact will record or record. Okay. So we'll take the second point. Okay. Third one will be somewhere here.
Is it the same this button and this one?
Yeah, it's the same. So this is the top point. So now we have a plane trigger. As you can see here and here, we have a plane. Right? So, okay, one important thing, you can see here that the cat call that we imported, right? Here there's one coordinate system. So during our manual alignment, we have to align, we have to create this coordinate system manually. So this here have to be the origin and axis is in this our position. You cannot create part alignment here as the origin or here as the origin. It must be the same. If it's not the same, then this the position and the orientation won't be true anymore. Okay. So in this case, here is the origin point. But how? Any idea how we can create this origin point? Any idea? As you can see here, we cannot touch anything, like it's floating. So, but then you have to create it, right? And how we can create it?
Create in the air cosmos just now or in
Uh,
like
Then propose.
air cosmos. Line.
With your one line,
Uh,
we will go one line. Then the intersection point will be our origin, right? So after we create this plane, we will align this plane. Okay. This plane is our next one. Okay. So again. So as you can see here, the z-axis will change. That means this plane is our 0 point in z-axis. Okay. So back to the origin point, we can create two lines, right? Now first we can create the first line, say calling line X. Okay. We take it 2 points. So same as the plane just now. We come here. From here, that's the button. Yeah. That's it. Okay. Second point. That's it.
So only in the line, how many points we need to get?
Minimum 2.
Minimum.
This is
How about
only
if more than like 3,
the
4?
more the better, and the more accurate the line. So actually in manual alignment we don't need very accurate data. You just have to tell more or less where it's implemented. So after we create the new alignment, we create the auto alignment which will take in more points. So maybe this time it will be like 4 to 5 points. So it will be more accurate. Okay. So as you can see here, we have the line here, and then we can create another line. Okay. So take line 1. Also 2 points. Okay. Here. I have 2 lines, right? And then as you see just now, you take this intersection point of these 2 lines as our origin point. Right? Before that, we have to create a point. It's a clear intersection point. And then we take it as a origin. Okay. So I'll keep these 2 points, these 2 lines. X and Y. Okay. Now I put 1. Right? And then now I can use this point and define it as what? Origin. Here. Create origin. This point is, this origin is our point. And then here we can pick the coordinate. Right? So in this case, I will use X and Y. Why not Z? Because
Z belongs to the group.
yes, and you can see, if you see here, this point is not exactly on the plane. It's slightly below. So we don't want to consider the Z coordinate of this point. You see here, we get the origin point. Right? So we can check. Here, around here is plus, that's 0, 0, 0 point there. So the last step is with align 3, create origin, and last is align axis. Right? So here, align axis. Here we can pick this line will be line X as our axis. Line X as our axis. So now the new alignment is done. Okay?
The axis just assign either one only.
Yes. If you assign 2, okay. So, for example, you want to do 2 axes, right? So if let's say you align X first, this axis to this line. And then Y axis to Y. But then it will shift to Y to Y. Why? Because in reality, right, we can never get a perfect 90 degrees all of this. They will never be perfect. So we can only consider 1. So if we make 2, it will shift it because of the perfection. So now we can save the coordinate. How to save? Coordinates will store. So we store this coordinate. For example, 800. Now we know this coordinate system is our coordinate number 200. And now we can call it in our Micat Planner. That means this coordinate system will be at the same location as the location we saved just now. Okay? So how? Do this. This part placement. Check here. There's also actually a number of options. Okay. You can directly to use the data from the map. Okay. You take this CCS, this get coordinate system. This one. Align to coordinate number 200 that we created just now. So we say this coordinate system to coordinate system 200 against what we did just now.
So CCS is in map.
It's the coordinate system of this model.
One underscore CCS is the Micat coordinate is auto assignment, right?
What do you mean?
Just now inside Micat Planner,
Mm-hmm.
did you do anything to establish that coordinate?
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
No, this one comes with the 3D platform.
Oh, okay.
It's predefined. So that's why I said just now we have to do a kind of alignment same as the calculating system. So if the case is here is the origin point of the calculating system, right? Remember I did just now is wrong already. Right. So yeah. Okay. So now we just have to tell that okay, this CAD model, right, this origin point is at coordinate number 200. Okay. So if you see here, you have a lot of coordinate systems that are saved in different locations. So if I take this one, you can see it's in different locations. So now my level 11 is set. Now I can take extension to this scope. So I realize because I don't have see all this machine correctly, right? And it also saves some power for okay. So this is how we tell the machine where is the location of our workpiece and how is our work. So, okay, about orientation, let's not see the quick difference of changes. Because let's say we change this becomes the X and this becomes the Y, and then the whole thing will just shift it. Or if you place it 45 degrees. So, who wants to hands on and try to create a manual? See, and I will back you.
Yeah. So how for the first step?
So go to I will create a new one for you.
And back you for the first time.
Yeah, sure. So you remember the song we had to create 3 animals, right?
Yeah, X, Y, Z.
3 animals. First one is First one is
Then
okay.
Yeah, you got that.
Okay, sure.
sorry, I
So
totally
you want to create this?
okay, you.
So
Play. Okay, so number of the file I put.
if you want to put more, it's okay. You put 6 as well. Okay, let's go with 4.
Okay, so I click OK.
Yes.
So
And then,
yes.
no.
No.
CNC on means
What is the meaning for that CNC?
CNC means that the machine will run automatically.
Oh.
It's not manual, it's auto.
Okay.
Okay, so if it's yes, that means we have to control the machine using the software.
So I think
So this case is also we have click it on yes.
okay.
So manual alignment cannot use CNC one unless you have measurement map.
Yes.
So how to get
Okay, so you have to click on once, right? So the two can see that they reach. Where do you want to click it on?
from here? Okay.
So
Okay, first, yeah, go to the right side.
yeah.
And second. Okay.
Okay. So now we have the first table, right?
Yeah.
And then now we have to align this screen.
Yes.
This screen. First, you can go to align,
Diagram.
align this screen.
And click okay.
So what's that? You have to use A, right?
Yeah.
And then S over S Y. Right?
Right.
Yes. Then change to other.
Mm.
So if you want to check, so we can. Zero.
Yeah.
So correct. So we proceed to the next element.
The next element is line. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. Okay.
You want to change the name?
Okay. Why those?
You want to take one first?
Okay. Thanks. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. So number of point two is enough.
1, 2, 3, it's okay.
No. Okay, fine.
Close that. In this case, I see one supposed to be negative, but you don't have to go. You can see here the negative, already negative is not negative, but here it should go over. So, this is okay.
1, there is 1.5.
So now we have the movement.
Okay.
Right. So now that's the next step. Good. That's the intersection point.
Okay.
Choose the point, right? Correct. Okay. Now we want to make intersection point. So choose point.
Point. Yes.
Then inside point there, the type of construction. Just now I saw you click. There's the selection for intersection. Yeah.
So if you're not sure, you can just point at it and then it will show you what this button means.
Oh.
So if you're not sure, you just point at it and see. So intersection.
Intersection.
Yes.
So, maybe I would.
This one come out already one because it did follow
The previous.
No. This one is your user defined. I can put point 1, point 2, point A, point B, up to you.
But just now when we enter it's already named as origin.
This one is saved as memory, like the last saved name index.
Also, we always follow the last thing.
Yes. If you change now to, let's say, point 1, right? So the next time you pick, it will also be point 1. And just so you can click on it. This one is for your own reference. So you can change if you want. If you don't want, you can proceed with this. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And now we will pick the intersection point.
The element is 9 by 8 and you choose the second element through this line.
Second,
This line.
I choose line. Okay.
Next line.
Okay.
Okay, right?
Correct.
Now we have fixed point. So this one is our origin.
Okay.
Right? And then now software doesn't know yet. So you have to tell me this point is origin point. Right? So okay, just alignment.
Alignment.
Right? Create origin.
Line. Okay.
Well, origin is the point.
So I
Okay, it's fine.
next line.
So you can see here, you have the origin point. Okay? And then the last step is to align orientation. Right?
Line orientation.
This.
this
axis.
okay. Okay, in this case, I want you to try using line Y.
Okay. Okay.
So now, you can see here,
Hmm.
I have zoom out a little bit. This line was the y-axis,
Hmm.
but you define it as the y-axis.
Hmm.
That's why you see it.
Yeah.
And now it's basically okay.
So,
Okay, just delete it
okay.
and we redefine it.
Yeah. Use
Okay, let's use one.
fine.
Two.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh,
Arrow again.
it's direct direction.
So how I want to be
Then is
quick?
then split plus delete. And then this. Okay. Why just now you fix y facing in this direction? It's not what we want. We want to go this direction, right? Okay. Because just now when you take the points,
Hmm.
the line y,
Okay.
remember you do it from here to here. So the line direction is this direction.
Can reverse.
How do you reverse?
You cannot reverse one again. You can redefine it.
Redefine it.
Or predefine this time.
Oh, cannot do here to like reverse.
Yeah. You predefine.
Hmm.
Using the same line just one route.
I choose this because y and y. Right now I don't have to do it again, right?
Yeah, can you repeat again just now how you redefine?
Okay, this is the angle vector. You can see it?
Hmm.
X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
Okay. So these three data you combine and gives us only one direction. Okay. So okay, the easiest way to remember is the x is in 0, the length is goes to x direction.
Hmm.
If y is 0, it goes to y direction. If z is it goes to z 0. Okay. So if you want to go to opposite direction, x, so you going to go other way. Y is not one way, z is also one way. This is the flow of time. And then if you change something here, let's say x is 0, you calculate it. And then this 3, okay, so this is x 0, this direction. So you see 90 degrees, right? So 90 degrees. And z 90 degrees. So it goes to this direction. You will calculate it and then it gives you only one direction. It won't be like this or two directions or three directions.
So if I input wrongly, the things like cannot proceed.
Not cannot possible, it's just
If I
how you define it.
if I define it into like two directions,
It won't happen.
oh,
You won't okay. You won't get it. Okay. Well, just now, this is I want to go to one direction. So what I just put one way. So 0. You will automatically change it to 1. So now I just like to memory before. I don't have to do it again to this recording. Like what? So I have two line ways. So if you try it now, I use line y2 and the y-axis. Now you see, because I already say that this nice direction is our required direction. Okay. So, okay, next step, we have to do what? Say the.
Micat Planner.
So, you save it first and then we call it in, we go to coordinate system. Yes. And then we store it. Store. So you can define any number you want. Override 200 is also okay.
If I put new, just input a new figure.
Yes. We can set up to 9,999.
Oh.
Can I put alphabet? Only can.
Only numbers. Only numbers. No.
Okay.
So now it's safe. So now we can call it in Micat Planner. So go back to Micat Planner. And now publish it.
Okay.
So now change knows this the software and Micat Planner knows where is the position and the orientation of the piece. Understand?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
So I understand.
So now I have to see how is it after this arrival. Micat Planner can straight away do Micat already.
Because the terms the next step. No, try to do.
Or is it okay?
Okay? Okay.
Not have okay.
You can try if you want to try something. Let's say you look at this.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
Something different. And then you see how is it it's what it to
So this one found new.
how and then use it.
In his
Okay. That's it.
so first one is do the
Big.
length.
Next one.
Right. So take this one,
Yes.
then only I go down.
If you don't press it, you won't register the phone. Too strong will have a function.
So to pick again, to allow it to move faster.
Yes.
So alignment this one. Okay. Intersect them. Line. Not axis. After that,
That's why you put my
Y. Save the one. For the register, store one.
Okay.
Store on that. This one need to reset any or anything, no need or.
No, they just call it.
Please, nothing. This week you all.
That's right.
Can I open the machine too? This one?
So it depends how it plays here. We use the machine to create the quantity system and then we call it. So now in this case it's synchronized the work of the quantity system. Okay. Okay, so So now everyone, yeah, see, try to do a menu alignment, and then I guess you guys also understand how it works, right? Why this thing allows us to send information about the location and the orientation of the place. Right. So, yeah. Now the machine, the Micat software, Micat Planner knows what is our machine, what is our motive, and where is the location. But now we can start to create the measurements. And can include circles, the lines, and so on, things. I'll show you how to create. So let's take the first one, for example, this is circle. Right? So this, click here, and then right click, add feature as circle. Now, you see, it automatically creates a open. Right. So what we can do here is we can check if this z-axis z coordinate is 41, but let's say you want to change it to slightly deeper, change to -3. Yeah. It automatically do for.
Also, if so if I want, can you try move down a lot so I can see the difference?
Oh, okay.
Like 2
Okay.
or something.
So I can put in, let's say now, put one -1 first.
Oh.
Okay. -1, that means here you can see error, that means it's too high. And you cannot take a lot of things points. And then I say 8. Much more. Okay, just change all this. And here, yes, you can do all the customization.
Expand the circle, right? Yes,
Sorry?
just now to expand the circular one.
Okay. Yes, this is hello. This is all the measurement templates. I can change the name, the one, see what, sampling method, using touch trigger or context scanning. Right? Which scanning is don't see points in one, so it's a continuous line. Right? Sampling pattern, circle, or manual placement. For example, manual placement you can place it. Let's say one, somewhere.
What is manual placement between until this circle that I have to manually use the controller to
No.
point?
That means you don't want to use the pattern. This I'll show you using a thin sponge scan. So for example, I use this thin that. Okay. So you can see here, there's a lot of points created. So let's say I want to add a point here.
It's like the recommend top right now, right?
This one is the generated by Micat Planner. If I use enforcement slide, I have to define all of this manually one by one.
All the top.
And the path also one by one manually. So Micat Planner, it generates itself. Okay, it suggests the points for us to do. Okay. So for example, okay, about the window placement is let's say I say here there's too much space. I want to add a point. Right? Okay, let's click, right click, add measurement point. Go. You just add one point. And let's say from here, the left click, the measurement point. Right? There's one more point. And then the path, it will regenerate the measurement path.
Want to remove?
Also say, okay, this, let's say I will remove here, like only. Okay, right click, click. Here, I want to delete here, put one.
So I have to like remove like one message if I only need 4 point, but now I can give me so much like this.
Okay, how it does is, it uses image. Now, if you want only 4 points, you can.
Under here also can.
Yes, this are all the point data. See the next one is you don't want okay, let's say you want more. Yeah, I like it. I think this is big. So these are good points with unavailable point. You can see here, solution reaching the point at least. This point it suggests us, but it's not possible. But then it will just ignore it.
Also inside the bracket already automatically ignore that.
Yes, you see the point, right? The path here.
Without recording.
Yeah, it won't include it. So we can just click. So it's 4 points up. Here, 1 point. 1, 2. So that good. Really and 4. So 4 points. Okay. Or if you don't want to waste your time doing a movie, just using the preset circle patterns, circle form.
Circle form is the movement.
And the point of circle pattern, single pattern. And here is circular. Okay, for like this kind of focus in rectangular form, it's not very suitable, I would say. That's it for like a round cylinder, right? Then you'll be more suitable.
Also for this case, cannot choose this circle form.
Yes,
Because
but
I see the point also like
see
shape
here,
of the
here, you have the empty, so yes, correct. You can use lines, that means it's point, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 lines.
also not suitable.
Quite okay, but
Just to have to remove whatever unnecessary one.
as you can see, this one,
Oh, okay.
Not detected, it was-
This one already detected. Even though detected, but it actually like skip through.
yes, it will skip. Okay, or flexible bit, right? Uniform. So, if for example, this line, you can just input number of lines. To go for maybe 6. Okay, power more. Then points per line. Okay, we got 7. And we combine.
project.
Age of Feb. So it's the offset from this page. So if you can see here is too near, I can change it to let's say 3 mm. So you just have to do all these kind of small changes using my number. And you see this arrow means
Micat is like it's already include the configuration set in Cosmos.
yes. So basically, Cosmos is you can responsible for the part program creation and the data evaluation. Right? And then Micat Planner only generates the part program part. Right? And the definition of TTT, but it cannot allow us to run the program. We can use Micat Planner to control it. Right? Okay. So we also discussed about the key features and benefits of Micat Planner. For example, it saves us a lot of time in creating a part program, right? Up to 95% of time reduction, right? And then other than that, we also it will generate a program which is collision free. So collision is what the things that we don't want in any machine. Right? And it also increases productivity, so on. Right? So after these trainings, anyone any idea about maybe other benefits that we got? If you have something else.
First of all, thanks for the valuable training today. It's quite fruitful for us to learn something new about differences between Micat Planner and also Cosmos.
Okay.
So as you can see, Cosmos is really the one that controls the machine. Micat Planner is the one that really even make the entire lengthy process even more efficient.
Yes, sir.
So I think the main key takeaway for myself is how beneficial this will be for the end customer. Because sometimes we always face this kind of situation where we are having troubles like people within the company, we know technical people doing handling the machines.
Okay.
So I think with the help of Micat Planner, it really ease the process of creating all the programs and stuff, right? It's really very helpful. I think it's also can act as a very beginner friendly, I would say, and also a very good kickstart for those who are not familiar with the machine. You can go with that. I think you can see very well.
Yes.
Successful for that. So I think and also one very important is the collision free. So I think for the training just now, the collision free is something that is very concerning for most customers. Because like creating manual program, if like you said just now, if you miss the OT function, collision might happen anytime at costing and also the machine down for like 3 days. So I think this really helps like, in terms of companies financially and also the overall efficiency I would say. So I think and I think I would really like to have a trial version on my laptop.
Okay.
So I think the 6 months, am I right?
Yes.
Because it doesn't get renewed.
If you wish to extend the period, we can try to do it for you as well.
Or basically, if I install it, can I install it myself or you have to help me to install it?
You can install it for yourself as
I can
well.
install it.
If you have trouble installing it, we will assist you this method as well.
Okay, and as it's not you were mentioning about training, right? I mean, you guys will provide the training right?
So 1 day.
Or one full day.
1 day, yes.
1 day full day. So regardless of experience or experience, also just 1 day training is it?
Yes.
Okay.
If after this 1 day you still have some difficulties, you still have questions, you can always come to approach us.
Okay, maybe after the training, I'll work out with you on the installation of some training.
Sure. Okay, thanks for your input. Okay, so other than that, other than the features and benefits, we also go through the workflow one by one, and how to use this software, right? So the first thing is the DNE, which is the machine configuration. Right? We have to know our hard drive first. what our tolerance is capable for, like which machine model, what kind of probes has, what stylus set up has with the machine. Right? With that, the second part is the import model. Right? We import the workpiece, the cat file workpiece into the software. The third part, menu alignment. Right? To tell the machine where is the workpiece located and how is the orientation. Okay. After that, we can create the elements, like call out the circles, the lines, the planes, and so on. Okay. And then after that, we can call out the TTTs. Right. For example, the angularity, the flatness, coaxiality, and so on. Right. And then after that, we generate the part program, but we also can simulate it. Right. You can see how is the movement. If there's anything you can improve on, maybe some movements, some small movements, and then after that, you can export the part program. So, any questions about the workflow? The one clear? So, yeah. Key takeaways from this training. So, as you can see, and your experience and practical experience from this training, right? So, Micat Planner is very different from how we typically create a program for C9. And traditionally, we all use a very manual method. We have to refer to our drawings and so create the path movement manually. Right? And then Micat Planner basically eliminates it. Like, we will generate all the things that we need by using 3D file and the MVD, which is kind of like data. Okay. And then also the biggest benefit is also time saving and error reduction, which is as mentioned by Nicholas, it's very important for the user side because we cannot afford to let the machine down or any problems. Right? Okay. So before we end that, I will show you a video about like a refreshing video to see the basic workflow. Okay. That's a few minutes video.
In this video, we will show First step is to add a model for your life. Next, add additional grids to prevent interference from the grid. Now, select the appropriate
Needs
for this.
collision avoidance of the things machine involved comes to this area, this one. Okay, so for example, you have your pictures, you don't import too much of models, you can just use it. That's also that avoids the machine to approach. Then import the machine.
Next step is to run position the part inside the measuring point. Now, with the design model put in position, it's time to add each of the characteristics on the vector. For this example, this model is top plane.
So how is the element?
It will give you a set of
That you guys did just now.
This is the primary key, so we can set this as down. Next, we will document the blackness of this plane. Our tolerance for this
You find utility.
plus or minus 6. Next, we will evaluate the second over. Add a cylinder and this will yield secondary data.
average is simplistic, plus minus 50 microns. You have companies like then set this as our tertiary date and have a company always data which is 150 microns. Now that we have our rebalance, we will use these to read a CNC alignment on the sample part. Once you have the actual part, relate the virtual part to the physical. You can now add all the features you like to affect your evaluating alignment part. We will set our curve relative to the geopath coordinate system. We just created firm all the features for serial assessment. Now we will create a measured program with optimized geopath, and it will do your own language. From here, we can simulate
Simulation.
Now, close the measurement program to the executing and you're ready to start measuring.
Hey everyone, this is Professor Cameron, and we're going to be going over to
So I hope this training is similar to Planner call. Right, as we mentioned in the beginning for this training. Right. So yeah, the first one, able to create a single part program using Micat Planner. So yeah, you all also tried to create your own program using it just now. So how is it? Is it really hard or really easy? Or is it meh?
It's quite simple to use actually,
Very simple.
as compared to if using the enforcement software to create the part program. Because to me, I learned using enforcement to me is like quite. Every time I will get worried if I accidentally break the dashboard. Yeah.
Okay. And for the software interface wise also you see much less buttons. But you don't have to click so many buttons looking for many stuff, right?
Yeah, for me, I think it's very friendly
User-friendly.
to use. Okay. And if compared with the iPhones,
Thank you.
Yeah. Too many buttons inside. Too many configuration in the button.
it's like AI. You put what you want, then
Yeah, more like-
get the plan to you.
You just have to do the settings like how you want it to generate for you, then it will generate it for you. Okay. And then you also enable to edit the part program. So as you can see, just now the program created, when you run the first time, but the first time you produces a lot of warning messages. Okay, so for example, like be careful, like the fork will rotate. Right? So this one is for the first run. Like the second one, you don't need all these messages already because you know this program is saying. So you can edit it, delete the unnecessary lines, and then do some edit. Right? And then for our sales engineers, now you are able to create the part program, right? Then you can show it to customers. Right? You can use on site, just use a laptop and then show customers how what is Micat Planner. You can even request for your customers 3D file and then just demo that them on site and then show them how easy to use. Okay. So this was my side, and then before I end this meeting, you will have any feedbacks to me on this training. Maybe you wish to cover something more.
And I have a trial version.
Sure.
So how long for the period I can use for the trial version?
Okay.
And how to request apply for the trial version?
Okay, you can just contact our sales personnel, and then we will send the installer to you. So for now, our license is until end of September. Now, for example, if you start date, for example, on August, right, it's you only have 1 or 2 months. So we can request to extend the trial license as well for another, it's a 3 months or half a year.
Can you please look at planning how long has it already been in the market?
I would say 4 or 5 years. It's actually quite new.
Oh, but then the license, right, is it like a subscription base or is it like a lifetime?
It's a lifetime license.
So you really have to, I mean, have to upgrade it anymore, is it?
Okay, it depends because you pay for the license once for this particular version. Right? If there's a new version update coming or major updates that, okay, let's say you wish to have this new function, then in case you have to pay for upgrade.
Or upgradable lah.
Upgradable, yes, upgradable.
I can rent out in which version?
It's 2.1, version 2.1. So it will eventually also increases the more features. So
Minor upgrade is free, like only major ones.
Micat Planner won't be updating too often.
And with the question.
Yes?
Other than tutorial having this kind of offline program, if example there also something like online program.
Okay.
Do you know what's the difference, like when we demo to customer, how we convince to them for our one is easier when it's like when we try to promote tutorials and
So from my experience, my understanding of some feedback that I've heard before, the Hexagon software, right, the measurement path creation is not as stable. It means even though it generates it for you, but you still have to check it if there's possibility or condition. But this one, I guarantee you won't have condition.
yes, like maybe certain critical zone their software unable to like skip or ignore, but that's not like when the time when you demo, then we can see the dot at the point. Those red color point or those
So this is what you mentioned,
yeah.
all these points.
Other than the white color point,
Yeah.
the pink.
The orange points, the blue points, yes. So you see here, it says the point is too close to picture.
So it's like this one maybe the
So it will automatically ignore all these points. More feedback? Or maybe you can share what kind of features that you wish to include in the future.
the market. So only is it only the tutorial and server only have this offline thing?
Size as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Then of course they are like
for my information side, it's not, it cannot allow you to manually define your TDM.
Manually define.
So it has to come together with the 3D drawing. So the sum what you did is manually define all TDMs. Okay. So for today's case, we don't have the PMI data, so we have to define it manually, right? So that's what we did just now during the whole training. Right? For size, you cannot manually define it. We don't have this kind of training. So now you're interested in online programming, right? Offline, sorry, offline.
I think this one can promote. It's a very good format.
The two things I really like is the user friendliness and then the collision-free measurement path generation.
Can I be surprised developed under which country, Germany or
Germany.
Not Japan.
Send like the enforcement also.
All the CMM software for Nipple are all developed in Germany. So if you go deeper into like software, sometimes you choose something.
The one you are showing us, Micat is version 1.
1.1, yes. This one I don't have.
Latest is 2.1.
2.1.
So what's the difference between version 1 and version 2?
This one supports. The version 2 have some new features. I'm not really sure, but some new features.
So the one we are going to use for trial license will be this version of
2.1.
2.1.
But
More or less the same, right? The way to operate.
interface? Any changes?
no. If you don't see this, basically you won't know its distribution.
Oh, okay. But then I'm seeing that there is a window 10. Can I support Windows 11 or
Yes.
Windows 11 next week?
Next week,
Windows 7, sorry.
Windows 7, I'm not sure it will be a bit too low. Because the minimum you have to, the Cosmos minimum is 4.3. So I think Windows 7 for 4.3 as well.
So I think whatever we have learned today is quite just more on the surface, more on the benefits and features. Will you be planning to conduct one more proper training, like a really more in-depth training on how to relate to the most of its related part?
Sure, we can always arrange another session.
Because as far as I can see, it's good, it's very good. Because whatever I saw that it was, I can say the future. It makes everything simple and easy. But
Yes.
I just got just whatever we have tested today is only on and keep right. So I will really hope we try it from something like more complicated parts to the proper. As of today, you only showing us the one that we have to do our own PMI data side. What about, do you have any samples that we do PMI?
Oh, yes.
Oh, without PMI require more steps.
Yes. Now I can show you something. Something I've been working on using PMI data.
You mean the PMI is the platform already come with PMI?
Yes, platform already with PMI.
Oh, already.
So I can show you something.
Can you know PMI, is it a very normal thing? I mean, if I get any designer, if I just mention the word PMI, I don't know if they will know that or it's a term like tutorial, or it's a general term.
Let's do the other.
It's a general term. sorry, I have a question.
Yes.
Just now I saw that you created during training time, you are using the precise attacks keys you used for the measurement. Then I saw for the video is my star 555, right? So what about Strato and Legends? They still can use this market planner as well?
For yes.
For Strato, yes. What about Konami?
Programme,
No, for Konami.
so as you can see here, this particular model already comes with all PMI data. So, because you can see here is quite a lot of CMIs. So it comes with the package with the 3D data, and just have to import and then do some minor editing and then it will happen.
So how if I don't have a GFI, I need to keep on
Like what we did just now. So like for this kind of it's a very complicated workplace that it will be very useful because if not it will take quite a long time to train all this data.
But if I was a part that is very complex, like really see hundreds of rational points. So when I look at part inside that, but I see very like messy because there's a lot of blue color text.
20 years, but you can also show this filter by the people or people. If you see that too much, then you can just close it and then you can go to here. So, speaking about PMI data right just now, actually PMI data is two kinds of PMI data. So, there's one kind of called graphical PMI data. So, what's graphical means that it only shows graphically, but it didn't bring any data inside.
Graphical PMI.
So that means even though that you import it shows it here, but it doesn't carry any information that you will relate automatically.
So the kind of PMI can go both sides because they
It's just only graphical, it doesn't carry the important data. So, see the semantic is carries all this data. So you have to take note of it. Sometimes you say, okay, it's provided, but you cannot use it. Because then this is a potential issue.
Now, a very last tricky question for you. Very key. Yes, I heard from Christina mentioning earlier that our competitors also have this kind of so-called software, right? Software. Okay. So it's hard. I've seen one of the competitors, right? Instead of loading 3D CAD file, you can load PDF drawing to create program.
Okay.
Can you please read PDF file, create an image of this very flat to be a view of you only on the PDF drawing? Can you do that?
Certainly,
Software do that?
certainly we don't support this this kind of feature.
Or now it's just not yours. I think much less. Because in the end of the day, it looks very ideal, but then I can see that myself to see the small red flaws, then maybe I'll get back to the of course, so for you, it's
for the original license is not good or is used like get installer.
For the original one, not the trial right? Okay, for original you will get longer license.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you on offline you will get another license.
So the dongle I can simply change to any
Yes.
laptop or PC.
Yes. So let's say in your company you have like 3 person to create this program. So okay, switch. Or then go for floating license. So which is not physical control.
This one also can act as the blocking license.
Yes, yes. So it's just just link the license to the software and then you see the what you are allowed to do with the license. You are really interested, huh? So, if you don't have any questions anymore, I thank you for your participation for today. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.